Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Audrey. We are going to be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League that dropped Thursday. So there's a lot to talk about. This movie is 4 hours long, but I'm doing this top 10 style, so if I left anything out, that's why it's a long movie. So I'm just going to give you my 10 big highlights from this and talk about a review overall and see how I feel about this film. If you are new here, I'd love for you to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up so that always helps boost the channel along. I would really appreciate it, but we're going to go ahead and get started with the top 10. So one thing I want to point out is that there are maybe 5 scenes that were in the theatrical cut of this that this is like a completely new movie. The whole thing is completely different. There's different motivation. We're going to address it talking about the fact that Darkseid is featured in this movie. So Darkseid should have never been taken out. It does not, the theatrical cut that had Steppenwolf just these weird, like the mother boxes were like connected to his mother. It was very weird. That's not a thing. They are world-conquering devices that were used by Darkseid. Steppenwolf found them and is trying to get back on Darkseid's good side. So, or bad side, because he's also bad. But you know, they made it way too simplistic. This makes it make more sense. It's funny when they give context to these ideas, they make more sense. Oh my god, there's little duckies swimming around outside. That's so cute. So let's discuss when we talk about this, things are a lot different. There's some things that still happen theatrical cut, but they look totally different in the Zack Snyder version. So the first moment of the top 10 I want to talk about is the Amazons versus Steppenwolf. This scene is so different than it was in the theatrical cut. The Amazons get mowed down. You don't see anything really in the power of the Amazons, the strength of the Amazons. I think when Steppenwolf breaks out, there's very good scenes with that. Hippolyta gets a lot more action, which I know was a huge thing with Connie Britton in general. Said that she had scenes that she wanted that did not make the theatrical cut that were back in this, and I think the scene's beautiful. It is a lot longer, so you really see everything going out. They give a lot of establishment to all of the characters when Steppenwolf breaks out and finds all of the mother boxes and that. They have more establishing shots for everything, so it makes more sense and it flows better, and I think there's less confusion in this, and it's a lot less like run-of-the-mill generic villain that's going down. So I think off the bat, that was a highlight of this, was the Amazons with their fight against Steppenwolf was a huge win. It also connected Wonder Woman back to Themyscira, which makes more sense. So it made more sense. It was a very good moment. The second top 10 I want to bring up is the fact that Lois Lane is pregnant in this. Zack Snyder confirmed this recently, but if you go back and look at, they were just hinting at it. There was a pregnancy test that was in her nightstand. There was also the idea where they say, you know, oh, congratulations, by the way, at the end of the film to Clark. So seemingly, yes, she is pregnant with Superboy. I don't agree with what I had heard was Zack Snyder's plan for the child in the future, that he would be an alternate version of Batman. I think he should just, you know, go with the comics and be Superboy, and that would have been good, but I would have liked to see more of that family in general. Number 3 is the inclusion of Martian Manhunter. Now, he's a character completely removed from the theatrical cut. There are other characters that were looking to make appearances that Zack Snyder wanted to include that did not appear at all. But even though he got like free control, this was his vision. There was still stuff that he wasn't allowed to do. He wasn't allowed to bring Green Lantern into it, but he was allowed to bring in Martian Manhunter, who appears in this as, particularly twice, he appears visiting Lois Lane in as Martha Kent to basically get her to join the real world again. But also when she finally decides to do this is when they revive Superman. She's there to kind of calm and ground Clark so that he knows where he is, which is great. Which in the Nightmare timelines they go forward, I think that she might not have been there. So Martian Manhunter knew that Lois Lane was key to everything, which just keeps being brought up actually throughout. He also appears at the end saying that promising to fight with the Justice League in the future. So he joins the Justice League seemingly at the end, and that is the most Martian Manhunter we get. It's better than nothing. My top 10, number 4 is just the stuff with everything with Barry Allen. So I'd say the 2 inclusions of scenes that were originally supposed to be there that were cut out. Barry Allen saves Iris West, which I think is a beautiful sequence. I really loved that. It is, you just see how his powers work and that he has compassion for people. And he has a thing for Iris West, which is great. We also know that she will be returning in the Flashpoint film, which is great because she's a big Flash character. And also him visiting his father in prison I thought was very heartwarming and touching. I am bummed that in Flashpoint that actor, Billy Crudup, is not going to be Barry's dad, but just scheduling conflicts, but I thought that was really good moments, and him visiting him, and it's very an emotional thing, which comes back to play later at the end, where he talks about how he is one of the best, which is true. All here for you, Barry. 5th thing I want to bring up is Victor Stone. We get so much more of backstory with him. We see him helping people out, and I agree with everything that Zack Snyder had said, that he was the heart of this film. It was true. He feels like he's a monster and that he shouldn't be alive, but then he learns to go with his new persona as Cyborg and be able to move forward in his life. It's a real shame of what happened with Ray Fisher in Warner Brothers, that he's not able to continue as Cyborg because he is very good in this, and there's a huge, I feel like we feel a huge connection, at least with me, with him in general. I think really you see the film and put yourself through his shoes more so than any of the other characters, and I think he's amazing in this. You know, you see him helping out the everyday folk. You see him, see how he works as Cyborg, which I think is really interesting way that they put that there. Like, he's kind of inside of his own mind, and they showed that. That's really helpful. I think in the end, when he's in the mother box, I think that is a beautiful sequence. I just think lots of it is great. The football sequence is awesome. The car crash is heartbreaking. Him being upset at his father is heartbreaking. Just, there's so much. Everything that was supposed to be in this was just taken out. Like, him and his dad, they just took out the Cyborg plot. So really, this movie is making no sense because the Cyborg plot and Darkseid makes the most sense of this movie. It's a huge part of it, and them taking it out just didn't make sense. Number 6, we're going to be talking about the original fight, the original time Darkseid tried to conquer Earth, in which we have all of the characters there. This scene was kind of in the theatrical cut, but there were characters that were not there. We get a better look at this. We see the Amazons, we see men, we see Atlanteans, we see Zeus and Ares, we see a member of the Green Lantern Corps, we see all of this going down. I mean, he gets, like, remember the Green Lantern gets killed, but we see Ares and we see Zeus really in this. They're pretty much kicking ass in this, and they're kind of the main ones that ended up, like, not letting Darkseid continue. So That's what happened. I mean, this scene is awesome. I think this is. I liked in the first Wonder Woman that when they went back and showed they showed another ancient battle with Ares. I think that was really a strong sequence from the first Wonder Woman film, which wasn't in '84. So anytime Wonder Woman's going to tell some tale of this ancient battle, gets a thumbs up for me. Number 7 is actually a low point, I think, for me, of this. And I don't have many, but it's the stark difference between this world as it's shown for Aquaman versus the Aquaman film. And I know this was supposed to come out way earlier, so it would have just been character redesigns. I prefer the vision that James Wan had in a lot of this. Character design I can mostly look past. I think the things that are really striking to me are, which I didn't remember from the theatrical cut of Justice League, but Mira is doing a British accent, a not very good British accent, instead of the accent that she normally had in the Aquaman movie. So she has an English accent, which is bizarre when she has a completely different speaking voice. And the water bubbles where they have to speak outside of water, that was really awkward too. But we knew that was going to happen, but it's just a little weird. I mean, the characters look completely different. I mean, Mira has a completely different character design. Volko has a completely different character design, and he has long hair. And Aquaman, he has longer hair, but it's tied back and it's not that long. So it was just a little striking. I didn't feel like Arthur Curry had much play in this. I think he had less of a personality. It shined through in a little bit because he is very standoffish, and that's kind of the point. So it's not too striking of a difference, but he also throws a bottle of liquor into the ocean. Are you littering, my man? Come on. You know you're not about that. This King Orm had some points with this. So you do see the setup for Aquaman, but the world difference is pretty striking. Number 8, Batman is much better in this version. He's not making weird comments to Wonder Woman being kind of an a-hole. They did remove some of his personality, I feel from BVS. He's not interested in Wonder Woman anymore, which I wouldn't mind. I like Wonder Bat. I don't like Superman and Wonder Woman. That's a relationship from the comics I don't like. I like Wonder Woman and Batman, so that I'd be fine with that. But he has more stakes in here. We do hear about Robin later, about the death of Dick Grayson, particularly at the hands of Joker, so we know a little bit more about that information, or about that situation, what happened, than the theatrical cut. I just think he was such a dick in the theatrical cut, whereas this, he's the leader. He wants to continue, he wants to do all this stuff, and he wants to kind of save the day, because he has a lot of tremendous guilt, which I think his scenes with Alfred are really good in this as a whole as well. Number 9, the prison break with Lex Luthor, as well as the reveal to Deathstroke that Batman is Bruce Wayne. So this was clearly supposed to set up an Injustice League. This was to set up the Ben Affleck Batman that is not happening anymore, which was supposed to involve Deathstroke knowing that he's Bruce Wayne. So this I would have been interested to see, and I still hold out hope that we could get some sort of Deathstroke. Joe Manganiello Deathstroke would be really awesome. But I think this is a sequel setup that we're never going to get, which is going to be ultimately really disappointing. With a lot of the stuff that's towards the end is a lot of sequel setup that we're just not going to get, and it's really sad. Number 10, and this is my favorite part of the film, is the nightmare sequence. Now we have one earlier in which Cyborg he gets a vision before they bring Superman back, in which we see like the death of Wonder Woman, we see Darkseid kill Aquaman. So this is what he predicts to see that is going to happen. What Batman has a nightmare of later in the epilogue is different. They are basically this band of assorted heroes and villains. They're going to try to reverse the effects of what has happened in this reality. So we have Batman, Cyborg, Mira, Flash, Deathstroke, and the Joker. So we have all these characters that are out to reverse the effects and or get revenge for what has happened. Mira is desperate for revenge because we find out that Superman has gone insane. So theoretically, what has happened is Superman has been persuaded by Darkseid after the death of Lois Lane, which may or may not have been at the hands of the Joker. So of course he's just causing all sorts of havoc as he usually does. Harley Quinn is also dead, and which Harley Quinn begs Batman to kill the Joker slowly and painfully, which makes sense with Harley Quinn. Superman killed Aquaman, so Mira is seeking revenge. Darkseid still kills Wonder Woman. We don't really know, I mean, they're kind of, whoever's left is fighting on their side, and right before Bruce Wayne wakes up, is they're looking to seek refuge, and Superman arrives to kill him, seemingly. So it's an extension of the nightmare sequence in BVS, which I thought was kind of the best. I really liked that sequence, actually, so I would love to see a whole movie in the nightmare realm, which I think the sequel is supposed to be all set in that universe, which I would love, personally. And I love this ragtag group of heroes and villains that are having to work together because this is the apocalypse scenario. Like, that would be super cool. But I don't know if we're going to get much of this stuff, which is really sad because I do want to see more stuff in the Snyderverse. I want to see more stuff here. And I know this whole situation was a little bit unique, what had to happen, what happened. But I would like to see more stuff in the Snyderverse, but also at the same time I'd like to see more stuff that's not in the Snyderverse. I'm not like one of the Snyderverse purists. I'm not going to hate on you if you are, but I genuinely like Birds of Prey. I like Aquaman. I like Shazam. I like the worlds that they live in. I don't think everything needs to be in the Zack Snyder version of the dark grittiness, but I do like to see it. So I think we should have things that are in Elseworlds, but also I like having a connected universe, and I like even if they're all loosely connected, to see where we can go from here. But hopefully we can kind of get back on track and maybe see more of the Snyderverse in the future. But those are my thoughts. Overall, I really, really, really loved it, and I'm shocked that I loved it this much. Like, no offense, but with how bad the theatrical cut was, I'm shocked that I really, really, really liked this. So let me know your thoughts on the Snyder Cut or Zack Snyder's Justice League down below. As I said, I do 2 videos a week, Tuesday and Friday. Right now we're kind of in a Marvel-thon because of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I do weekly videos on all sorts of comic stuff. So Falcon and Winter Soldier, there's weekly videos on it. Then it will be all the Marvel series for this year, and maybe I'm going to start the DC shows sometime soon, so just let me know what you think about that. But I love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on Friday with my Falcon and Winter Soldier video.